Hello friends, welcome back to another lecture in the lecture series on game theory. Today we will try to see that how we can use best response analysis to find Nash equilibrium. In this first part of the lecture we will see finding Nash equilibrium in the matrix games. In the next part I will cover how to find Nash equilibrium using best response analysis when we have a continuum of action rather than one discrete action. So let's start. So the first question you might be actually thinking in your mind is this, that why do we need best response analysis? We have seen in the last lecture about the Nash equilibrium and the no profitable deviation property through which identifying Nash equilibrium strategy pairs. But then why do we need best response analysis? The reason is this: the idea of finding strategy pairs using the no profitable deviation property can be cumbersome if you have a matrix game that's sufficiently large. So we need to find some better way, and this better way is actually best response analysis, and this is very easy to do. So how we define best response? Best response is a particular strategy for say player I that maximizes her payoff against the collection of strategies of the player J. So this gives me the best possible payoff. So how we finally define the best response? So we say that an action SI is a best response for player I to rivals strategies SJ, and this is denoted as SI in the set of best responses of player I against the strategy of player J SJ. If this particular condition is qualified, and what is this? The payoff resulting to player I is greater than or equal to payoff resulting from playing any other strategy other than the best response while the player J are sticking to their strategy. So you see here the player I is playing the best response strategy SI. Here he is playing some other strategy. So if the payoff resulting from playing best response strategy is greater than or equal to any other strategy, then this is a best response. So see how we do that. So now once we have understood the idea of best response, we can use this to formally define the Nash equilibrium. Let's see how we do that. So what we do, we say that a Nash equilibrium is a strategy profile S1 star, S2 star to Sn star such that each player I, and these are the number of players, this Si star is the best response to other players' equilibrium strategies Sj star. That is, Si star belongs to the set of best responses for player I against Sj star. So basically we are saying that these are mutual best responses. When each player's strategy is a mutual best response to the other player's best response, then we are getting a Nash equilibrium. So for a simplest game, a two-person game, we say that S1 star, S2 star is a Nash equilibrium if S1 star and S2 star are mutual best responses against each other. So you can see that we have used the property of that the payoff resulting from the best response is greater than equal to any other action. So for player 1, when he is playing best response against the best response of the player 2, the resulting payoff is greater than or equal to when he plays something else other than the best response while the player 2 plays his best response. Similarly for the player 2 also. So this is the basic idea of Nash equilibrium using the concept of best response. So now once you have understood the concept of best response, let's do a hands-on and try to find out Nash equilibrium using the best response analysis for a simple matrix form game. So this is what we are going to do. So now let's see, this is a simple matrix form game where player 1 has 4 different actions, top, high, low, bottom, while player 2 has 3 actions, left, middle and right. So what we do, how do we find best response? You pick any one player first. Suppose that I pick player 1, and after that I fix one particular action of the player 1, let's say top, and then see that when the player 1 is playing top, what is the best response available to player 2 against top by player 1. So if player 1 has played top, playing left gives 1, middle gives 3 and right gives 2 to player 2. So we see that 3 is actually the highest out of these. So we can say that 3 is the best response for player 2 against top by player 1. Similarly, we can say that if player 1 is playing high, then what is the best response for player 2? By playing left, he gets 5, middle gives 0, while right gives 4. So here we realize 5 is the best payoff that he can get. So left is the best response of player 2 when the player 1 is playing high. So in this way we can actually keep on finding. So I am taking you to next slide where we have done this. So see, when the player 1 is playing top, player 2 has a best response in form of middle. When player 1 is playing high, player 1's best response is left. Every other action gives him lesser payoff compared to left against high. When player 1 is playing low, the player 2 has a best response, that is middle. When the player 1 is playing bottom, the best response for player 2 is right. Now you have to fix the action of player 2 and see what is the best response for the player 1. Suppose that player 2 is playing left, then what is the best action for player 1? If he plays top, he gets 3. If he plays high, he gets 4. If he plays low, he gets 2. With bottom, he is getting 5. And 5 is definitely better than any other payoffs here. So for the action left by the player 2, the action bottom is the best response for player 1. Similarly, when player 2 is playing middle, player 1 can do best by playing low. This gives him 5 against all these other numbers. When player 2 is playing right, player 1's best response is again low. He gets best here against all the numbers. And then we see that there is one particular cell in which we have two best responses. For each players there is a best response. So these are mutual best responses. So low is a best response against middle by player 2, while middle is a best response against low of the player 1. So this cell, this is giving me mutual best responses. So the Nash equilibrium of this particular game becomes low, middle. Always remember that the actions are the Nash equilibrium profile, not the payoffs. Don't say that Nash equilibrium is 5 4, because I can just change the numbers, and if I just say multiply by 2, the answer in terms of actions will remain same, but it will change in terms of payoff. So always answer in terms of actions. So we have seen this. Now we saw that it is possible that for one particular action, there is another interesting thing here to observe, and this is that this action low by the player 1 is actually a best response against two different actions of player 2. It is a best response against middle as well as against right. So let's use this interesting thing and see that what are other possibilities. So it is possible that a player has more than one best responses to a given action of other players. So I have this game here. So let's see that how we can solve this game and what are the best responses. So let's again fix the action by player 1, say top. Then what is the best response for player 2? He can play left and get 4. He can play middle and get 4, while right gives only 2. So right is not selected. What are selected are left and middle. So when the player 1 is playing top, player 2 has two best responses against top. These are left and middle. When player 1 is playing bottom, player 1 plays left gets 1, plays middle gets 2, plays right gets 5. So right actually outnumbers every other response. So right is the best response of player 2 against bottom by player 1. Now fix the left by player 2 and see what is the best response by player 1. So this is 3. When player 2 is playing middle, again player 1 can play either top or bottom because both are giving same payoff. So both are best responses by the player 1 against the player 2's action middle. When player 2 is playing right, again player 1 is indifferent between top and bottom because both are giving equal payoff. So we see here we have our Nash equilibrium pairs here now. So let's see what are the Nash equilibriums here. This is one cell where we have mutual best responses. Top is a best response against middle by player 2, while middle is a best response against top by player 2. So we realize that one set of actions that give me Nash equilibrium is top middle. What is the other cell where we have two best responses, mutual best response, and this is this. So we realize that bottom is a best response against right by player 2, while right is a best response against bottom by player 1. So the other one is so first claim that we are making is this, is that a strictly dominated strategy cannot be a best response to any action of the other player. So think of any particular action which is strictly dominated. It will never be a best response because nobody will actually play. What is a strictly dominated one? Which gives me, for which there is always another strategy that gives better payoff. It is strictly dominated, not weakly dominated. So it will never be a best response. Let's quickly draw a game here. So suppose that I draw this particular game. This is top, bottom, left, right. So suppose that the numbers are 0, 2, 1, 1, 1, 3 and 2, 3. So let's look for the best responses here. Against top by player 1, player 2's best response is 3. Fine. Against bottom, the best response is 3. Okay. Now against left by player 2, player 1, player 2, against left by player 2, player 1 has a best response. This is this, that is bottom. Against right, the best response is again bottom. Now you see one interesting thing here. For player 1, action B is strictly dominating action T because 1 is greater than 0 and 2 is greater than 1. So we now realize that none of the actions that were strictly dominated entered into any best response. So see, T is strictly dominated and this is not part of best response by player 1. Here the action profile, that is Nash equilibrium, has a mutual best response is BR. Okay. Now from this we can actually go to another implication also. And this is this, that if we have a finite normal form game, if there is any particular strategy for player I, that is SI star, is either a strictly dominant strategy equilibrium, or if it is surviving IESDS, this will be a best response for player I. So see here, the example I gave here, if we go for the IESDS, we realize that this is strictly dominated, so this will be removed, and then this will be Nash equilibrium, and this particular thing will be a best response also, right? uh, this is a strictly dominant strategy against T, and this is a part of best response. So we showed both things using the same matrix game. So I guess that now this should be somewhat clearer to you what is the best response and how do we find Nash equilibrium in a matrix game using the best response analysis. In the next lecture, we will be covering how we use the best response analysis in a game where we have a continuum of action. So don't miss that. Stay safe and bye for now.